unbelievable. So
Thank
have you hit the ground yet?
No, sir.
Okay. Of course not. You're already planning for next year, right?
No, I got my notebook all out and 2021's on the front.
Awesome. Do you take time for Christmas in the Rombach house, or do you just keep going?
Yeah, thank goodness for David.
Yeah. It's awesome.
Commissioner Kirschner, you're good to go when you're ready. Everything's set up. We're on Facebook and we're recording.
Okay, very good. Good morning, all. I will call this commissioners meeting to order for Thursday, November 19th, 2020. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Commissioner Paradiso, would you like to give us a little prayer this morning?
Yes. The title of the prayer is Prayer for Putting on a Face Mask. Greater God, as we prepare to go into the world, help us to see the sacramental nature of wearing this cloth. Let it be a tangible and visible way of living love for my neighbors. Since my lips will be covered, uncover my heart, that people will see my smile and the crinkles around my eyes. Since my voice may be muffled, help me to speak clearly, not only with my words, but with my actions. As the elastic touches my ears, remind me to listen carefully to those that I meet. May this simple piece of cloth be shield and banner, and may each breath that it holds be filled with your love. In your name we pray, amen.
Amen.
Thank you
Awesome.
very much. Yeah, very good. Okay, Nicole, how about the roll call here this morning?
Commissioner Kirschner,
Here.
Commissioner Paradiso,
Here.
Commissioner Thomas,
I am here.
And I will accept the motion to approve the digital audio video recording of the previous board session from November 5th.
So moved.
Thank you.
Second.
Thanks, Tony. Any additional discussion? Hearing none. Nikki, roll call, please.
Commissioner Thomas,
Yes.
Commissioner Paradiso,
Yes.
Commissioner Kirschner.
Yes. So it is a pleasure, an absolute pleasure to begin this meeting by congratulating the Calvert Lady Seneca's volleyball team as state champions, 2 out of the last 3 years. My heart swells as a Calvert graduate, and it's especially great day to be able to recognize this group. Coach Rumbaugh, would you like to say a couple of words?
Yes. Hello. Thank you, Commissioner Kirschner, Commissioner Thomas, and Commissioner Paradiso for having us on today. We appreciate it. I guess we want to first start by thanking all of the fans, both within inside the walls of Calvert and outside. It truly has felt like we've had the support of the whole community. So we appreciate that very much. These girls worked hard They put in the time, they put in the effort, and it truly was a team win. On the court, off the court, inside Calvert and outside of Calvert. So we're grateful for that. We're grateful for the support, and we appreciate everything that you guys have done.
Thank you very much. We have posted a little video on the commissioner's website. If you haven't had a chance, ladies, please take a look.
You want to play it? Jimmy can probably
Sure,
play
if
it.
you can play it, that would be.
Yeah, I
wonderful.
can pull that up. Yeah, let me make sure and let me know if the audio is coming through. I'm pretty sure it should work, but I will go ahead and share it now.
Okay.
Who is that guy?
No audio, Jimmy.
No audio. I'm saying
Okay,
something really profound too.
He said, look how serious he looks. Okay, I
I'm
might
pretty
write this
excited.
off to, let me try one other thing. Let me move this. Okay. Oh, Zoom, you're so fun. Okay.
Tony, you're muted. Oh, here we go.
You're gonna sing now, it looks like.
Oh, I'm sorry, Coach. This is where deficit play comes into practice.
Yeah, okay. Well, you'll have to check it out online on our Facebook and follow us on there. Sorry about that.
No
Well,
worries.
let me do this. We have the proclamation in front of us here for the Tiffin Calvert Volleyball Day. We are declaring November 19th as Calvert Volleyball 2020 State Champions Day in Seneca County. And I'll read part of it. Whereas in 2020, the Tiffin Calvert High School girls volleyball team, known as the Calvert Senecas, finished the season with an overall record of 29-0. Now, what's amazing about that is each of them are 3 sets, right? So how many games did you have to win to get 29-0? A lot of them. The team had an excellent season, winning the state championship tournament. And whereas under the leadership and guidance of head coach Lori Rumbach, the team competed in the state championship tournament in Vandalia against defending state champion New Bremen High School. The Senecas defeated New Bremen in 4 sets, winning the school's second volleyball state championship. And whereas the Tiffin Calvert High School volleyball team won the 2020 state championship with the victory that will go down as one of the greatest moments in school history. And whereas the Seneca County Board of Commissioners recognizes all of Calvert's volleyball team members for the accomplishments they demonstrated over the past several months and for their hard work, dedication, perseverance, and love for the sport of volleyball. The board also recognizes the entire coaching staff and the family of the players for their support that helped the team achieve its ultimate goal. Be it resolved, the Seneca County Board of Commissioners, in recognition of accomplishments of the Tiffin Calvert High School volleyball team, hereby proclaim November 19, 2020 as Tiffin Calvert High School Volleyball Day in recognition of the team's state championship victory. Calvert Volleyball 2020 state champions. And it's signed by all 3 commissioners. And we certainly give to you our hearty congratulations. Thank you, ladies.
Yeah.
Good, we could hear that. That's wonderful.
We have also lit the courthouse blue. I don't know if you've noticed that. It'll stay like that through the week, similar to the last time. So it's exciting. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Who do you
Yeah.
have behind you, Coach? Is that the entire team or
Yes.
most of them?
That's all. That's the 15 travel team girls. That's right. And the 2 managers.
Great.
Awesome.
Good to see you.
And the life lesson is what coach is teaching there is if you believe in each other and you don't care who gets credit, you're going to do a lot of winning. So I think that really defines who the Lady Senecas are.
Thank you, Commissioner Thomas. Thank you.
It sure does. And speaking of high school sports, I do want to recognize the fact that Tiffin Columbian boys football team made it to the semifinals as well. So this has been a great fall season for athletics in Tiffin, Ohio, and Seneca County. None greater than the state champion Lady Senecas in Calvert High School.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks for joining us.
Mike, you have
God
one
bless.
more proclamation.
Pardon me?
There's one more proclamation that I gave you. If you could read
Okay.
that one, please.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, there is one more proclamation. We're going to save that till later, but thank you. Here it is. And this is another proclamation we have is whereas Lori Rombach is the volleyball coach for Calvert High School for 3 years. And whereas Mrs. Rombach has an overall record of 80-5 with 2 state championships that were both won by defeating New Bremen High School and a regional runner-up trophy to show her hard work and dedication as coach. And whereas Lori was given Coach's Achievement Award for Division 4, therefore be it resolved that this Board of Commissioners, Seneca County, Ohio, be it and does hereby recognize Lori L. Train Rumbach, Coach's Achievement Award for Division 4. In witness hereof, we, the Board of Directors or the Board of Commissioners of Seneca County, have hereunto set our hand this proclamation the 19th day in the year of our Lord 2020. Congratulations, Lori.
Hey, Coach.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. So that concludes our ceremony. Any closing remarks? Any other thoughts before we go on?
Maybe I'll just close it by saying, what the girls achieved was something that hopefully they'll remember for the rest of their lives. I know I will. And it didn't come without adversity. And something that we talked about all year leading up to this match was when the adversity came, we were going to run through it. We were not going to be afraid by it. We weren't going to be intimidated by it. And it took about until the second half of the second set until the girls really believed by looking at their teammates' actions that we were going to run through that adversity and not be afraid of it. So I think more than anything, I'm proud of them for how they reacted to it, because in hindsight, when you talk to people about how the match was going, they thought the second match was over. And if you talk to the girls on the volleyball court, none of us realized that we were down 20-12. And I think that's a testament to each other that we never stopped believing and we pushed through that adversity. So hopefully those lessons will carry over with them in the real world, because as you commissioners pointed out, it's definitely more than just a game. So what we did here is just a setup, hopefully, for the rest of their lives.
Fully agree. Thank you very much for your leadership. And girls, absolute congratulations from all of us. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. We will
You're
move
welcome
on.
to stay on, but there's probably a lot of learning going on at Calvert today. So
I think we might have them go back to class. Thank you.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, Jimmy, we're going to go on to County Administrator's report.
Sure, I will we'll do the CARES first. Bring up my sheet. Okay, we have total requests this week, and actually for 2 weeks, since we didn't have board last week, 2 weeks, totaling $56,269.13. Most of the items have been on our list before, just different departments. A couple of the bigger items I'll mention, Job and Family Services. They got a quote for $40,802 for automatic doors that will be both for their front entrance and the Veteran Services door. They will be automatic motion, so it's touchless. And then Public Safety put them in a request with all of the PPE we've been getting in. And, they have limited staff out there. Some of the delivery guys don't help unload it. So they've put in for a pallet lift to help get that PPE moved around and off the truck instead of unloading box by box. So other than that, I think most everything else has been on our list before. Our total so far, if today is approved, is $1,233,757.18. Leaves totals you can see, which will take us to $797, $690.27 left. So if you guys are okay with that, those expenses.
I'll motion that we accept.
Oh, you're muted, Tony.
Second.
I think Mike's muted too.
Come on, Jimmy, quit
Oh,
muting us.
boy, that's the phrase of 2020, right?
Yes.
Keep
That's
yourself
the
out.
Blame it on Jimmy.
phrase, yeah. Right.
So we have a motion on the floor. Any additional discussion regarding the CARES Act money? Hearing none. Nikki?
Commissioner
Roll
Thomas,
call.
Yes.
Commissioner Paradiso,
Yes.
Commissioner Kirschner.
Yes.
Also, Tiffin, City of Tiffin met on Monday, and they have asked the county to take portion of their funding that was being returned to the city from TSEP, $241,650 to put towards City of Tiffin businesses, towards our program. They checked with OBM and they could not change their program midstream. So the easiest thing would be, since we have plenty of applications, and I can let David, Audrey update on that if they have anything, but they have applications that funding is needed. So the City of Tiffin is going to be subgranting their money, the $241,650 to us for the program. Also, I have received $168,000 total from various townships and villages, 20 from Hopewell, 80 from Clinton, 15 from Bloom, 20 from Eden, 15 from Bettsville, and 15 from Green Springs. And I do think we are expecting another check from Pleasant Township today. I just don't know what that amount is. So that'll be on top of the 168,000. So we've got more for the program. And I know David and Audrey said it's a strong program and they have plenty of applications. So we're hoping it will be able to be used.
I'll move that we accept. Do you need
Yeah.
a move?
I think that's appropriate. We authorize. Yeah, that's good.
And just authorizing me to sign once I get the actual agreement.
Yes.
Yeah. We have to understand that the state is taking this money back if we don't spend it locally, and we have people in need, and we need people to apply, and we need to get this money out for our local economy and for our local people. So I appreciate the city trusting us with this. Good partnership.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and I want to thank the township and villages too for, scrambling at the end and working hard to make sure that their leftover money comes back to the county as well.
Yeah, that's right. Just as a reminder, and I'm
Right.
sure I'll miss a lot of industries, but if you're in the restaurant business, if you're a barber, if you're a hairdresser, just a multiple number of businesses who were affected by a loss of business during this pandemic, please don't be shy. We've allocated this money to hopefully help make you more towards whole, and we would ask you and implore you to apply for those funds because they are available to you, and we want to make certain that you're able to be viable into the future, and that means you need to make up for some losses that you've had in the past. So please apply. It's out there.
Nonprofits as well.
Exactly. Yep. And individuals, every individual that feels they've been affected and needs some help. So we have a motion by Mr. Thomas, a second by Mr. Paradiso. Any other discussion? Hearing none. Nikki, I need a roll call.
Commissioner Thomas,
Yes.
Commissioner Paradiso,
Yes.
Commissioner Kirschner.
Yes. Stacy, you have more for the commission?
Yeah, just a update. I sent out budget requests before I took a short vacation. I have asked the departments to return those by November 30th. So if anybody had any additional requests, they were to call and schedule. So probably either the first or second week, we might be scheduling it. So kind of keep your calendars open, make sure the calendar's updated. So if we need to schedule some budget hearings, we can do that. Basically, since our revenue, they projected 17.5. There's no room for increases, so there may have to be some changes anyway. But once we get all the budgets in, we can discuss that. But just wanted to let you know I got them out, and those will be due back to me by the 30th.
Very
So
good.
what are you projecting as a timeline exactly? Would we have a budget to review the first meeting after Thanksgiving, or?
As long as they get me all the requests in by the 30th, I'm hoping to have that first draft to you, that first board session. And then if they've got scheduling, they want to come in and schedule. So you'll have a first draft. As soon as making sure I get everybody's budgets, I'll submit what I have, even if I don't have some.
If history repeats itself, we'll have some guesstimates with how those return, but most of the electeds and department heads will have them back, right?
And, I think we've made the decision to increase that funding on EMS. So, we have to plug that in, and we need to see that in there.
Okay. Anything else, Stacy?
Nope, I think that's all I had.
Okay, we'll go on to commissioner reports. Commissioner Thomas.
Yeah, I've got a couple things. One, I want to say that over the last 20 years, Commissioner Kirshner and I have had a lot of moments, good moments, bad moments. And I've never seen him in more finer form than he was yesterday on the health department call. And I just want to call attention to that.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. That's very nice of you to say.
You really, you crushed it. And, we're in a once in a generation or 3 generation situation here. And what a way to rise to the occasion. And it was just so natural. So I really appreciate that. And your prayer today, Tony. Awesome. Yeah, that was
Thanks.
good. Couple things. One, we had an active transportation meeting yesterday with the Sisters of St. Francis. And I just want to give a shout out to Charlene, who's working hard on that and completely organized and just really made, the whole elected official community look very professional yesterday. And I really appreciate that. I appreciate Seneca County Parks' time and the city of Tiffin and contributing to that. We're still looking at, issues for bike path through the Opportunity Park on the county farm, and it really went well. So I appreciate her work. The CEO program, I attended a training for that. And again, this is creating entrepreneurial opportunities for high school students. And we're really making progress. We've got over 30 Seneca County businesses who are investing a significant amount of money with a 3-year commitment. So we are already, crossing that bridge to where we're going to be the first program in the state of Ohio. We're going to get a lot of notoriety about this. And what's been remarkable to me about this, and this is, a lot of hard work by Audrey Flood, is that we have our rural businesses, Sutton Bank, Bascom, North Central Electric, Sycamore Bank, a lot of outlying businesses that we don't normally get to interact with, who are driving this program, Seneca East Schools as well. So, we made a significant investment in hoping to drive rural economic development at TCEP, and this is the fruit of that labor. And I just want to say that this is going really well. I would like to entertain, and Audrey, you can take this back to David. I would like to entertain some funds additional to TCEP to support this program and get it incubated. It's going to be self-sufficient by private sector money, but launching any program is challenging, and it takes a lot of work to get it off the ground. Once it's up, it's going to be working. But we may, I may ask if we can do a little bit more for TCEP to support that program. I just had some questions on schedules on the budget, and I think Stacy answered those. So I would be ready to vote on a budget, as soon as we can get it done. We've moved that up and up over the previous years. So I'm happy to see that come after Thanksgiving. There's a couple things that we have outstanding that I'd like to get on the agenda per your pleasure, fellow commissioners, to get wrapped up. I know people are waiting for us on, EMS. I'd like us to have our lend lease rates for the volunteer districts from our employees. So if Ken can get that to us for approval, I think that's the next step. I also would love to see some examples of dedicated EMS facilities that, if we are going to move towards having some facilities, and, none of these decisions have been made, but I would like to start to see and get consensus of what that might look like so we can start narrowing down the costs on that. The museum, the curveball last meeting. And so I think we need to pin down what our path is forward. I'm open-minded. I just want somebody to, remind me how we're going to do the inventory. I think that's important. And so if we can have another conversation about that, so we're not leaving those folks in an unknown territory. And, Commissioner Paradiso has been working extremely hard on the RUMA, and I would like to see us get something on the agenda and get that taken care of, because people are waiting for us on that. So, I just like to see us get these things wrapped up after Thanksgiving.
Okay, thank you very much. So we'll take that under advisement, get anything else on the agenda, get the room on the agenda, and certainly finish up the museum and get those questions answered. So we'll get all that for next Thursday. Or I guess we won't. Next Thursday's Thanksgiving for our next meeting.
Yeah, we've got 2 weeks. I mean, we also have the request from the Martin Luther King Committee. So we've got some things that we, are on our dance card that we just needed to clean up. So
Yeah, my sense is we may have a couple extra meetings in the month of November or the month of December because of budget hearings and those kind of things.
yeah,
Typically, at least 1 or 2 of the departments in. Okay, Commissioner Paradiso.
Thank you. I have a few things. So this morning, FEDC met. Commissioner Thomas, they commented and complimented on your support being part of the team. Sarah from the chamber gave her support. Some of the companies involved were Manel Milling and Poet. Of course, Ford Manel's chair of the FEDC board. So a lot of positive comments from the Fostoria area as well with regards to the program you were describing. So it's awesome. It's awesome. They also talked about the Learning Center in Fostoria. And FEDC's 2 biggest initiatives. One is housing. They want to look towards providing housing as we develop our workforce and we try to retain people in our county. Housing is a big issue. So FEDC is focusing on that. They've put out a schedule of quarterly classes at the Learning Center. I forget the name of the company, but welding was at the top of the list. Apprentice program for welders, that's going to be offered at the Fostoria Learning Center. They continue to reach out and work with the universities, the schools, Vanguard, Sentinel, of course, Terra. So pretty exciting things going on over in Fostoria. Renee gave us an update on the landfill money. We all remember there was a settlement, Sunny Farms, of around $600,000. Round 2 has been completed. The EPA has signed off. In summary, there were, and I'm not exact on this, but there were approximately 24 to 28 applicants, and there were between a dozen and 15 different entities that were awarded the entire $600,000. So by the end of the year, that'll all be distributed back out into the Fostoria area as part of the settlement with Sunny Farm. So that's nice to hear. They also, Renee also gave an update on the land bank. Commissioner Kirschner and I sit on that committee. I very simply, funding for the remaining houses has been secured. Demo of 7 or 8 more houses will happen this year. So since the land bank was formed, there were approximately 130 properties that were acquired. 60 of them have been demoed. 50 of them have been sold back out and they're now on the tax rolls within the county. So the land bank is a great program. It's working. I just wanted to give a kind of a year-end update with that. You mentioned the museum. I'm excited. I have the revised and maybe final draft of an agreement that Prosecutor Devine sent over. I appreciate him putting this at the top of his list after 14 days of COVID quarantine. So I'll circulate that through the building for all of us to look at, and be assured that one of the main issues is to secure the inventory and get that straightened out before we open and move forward. So that is in there, Shane, and give you an opportunity to look at this agreement, which we've already authorized Stacy to, subject to the prosecutor's approval, to sign. So we're real close to getting that done. On the EMS front, I'd like to propose a couple dates, maybe on the 3rd of December. We can talk about those rates. We authorized Ken Majors to hire 4 full-time EMS personnel for next year. So we are budgeting that. We don't expect that we're going to get all that money back, but we are going to make these individuals available throughout the ambulance districts to help fill in where volunteers are short. And so we need to come up with a rate that we can charge. And so, for example, if New Riggle needed a person for 12-hour shift for X amount of shifts, what would that cost New Riggle? Their district would reimburse the county for that. So I'd like to have that done by December 3rd. I'm proposing that Monday night, December 7th at 7 o'clock, we have a meeting with the 5 joint districts. It would be the 3 commissioners, the 5 ambulance districts, and we would kind of lay out what we're looking to do, as well as discuss the 4 full-time personnel that will be available to support any of the 5 districts that would like that, and kind of how that would work. Ken and I have already talked. He's got some good ideas and some things down on paper, so we can talk about that on the 3rd if necessary. Then I would like to invite on the 10th, so this meeting would be on Monday with the districts. Then on December 10th, I've been in discussions. They've requested and reached out to us, the commissioners, they meaning the village of Green Springs, the township of Pleasant, the township of Adams. They are not a formal ambulance district, but they are looking for service effective this summer. I'm going to throw out July 1st. I don't know the exact date, but it's in June or July. And they would like to talk with us and then enter into some negotiations on how we might be able to make that happen. So on a formal basis, I'd like to invite them in on the 10th in our meeting, and we can have a discussion and ask some questions. And I think that would be great to get that process started on a formal basis. With that, that concludes my report.
Okay. Thank you, Commissioner Paradiso. A couple of things for me to report on. We are in the middle of a search for Ottawa, Sandusky, Seneca County Solid Waste District Director. The committee consists of a commissioner from each of the counties. We have had, I believe, 9 interviews, and we are all scheduled to a meeting on Wednesday, December 2nd, from 8:30 to 11 at the Waste District office or by Zoom, whichever works out here. I think that we've narrowed it down to 2. So of those, we had great candidates, but we were able to narrow it down to two. And I think those second interviews will be held on December the 2nd between 8:30 and 11. So I look forward to getting that position filled.
Were there any internal candidates, Mike?
There's going to end up being one internal candidate and one outside candidate interviewed at the end of this. They haven't been notified yet, I don't think, so I don't want to reveal that, but yes. Yeah, we had. So that's a good thing. We'll get a couple of good looks at a couple of folks who are qualified for the position and move that forward. Want to remind everybody that December 4th is a Christmas lighting downtown. So mark your calendars for that. Somebody will probably talk about that in open session here later on in general comments. But I wanted to let everybody know that. I also want to remind everyone that the COVID numbers in Seneca County are very close to alarming now. We've got 1,243 reported cases. We've got at least 20 people in the hospital. We had 200 new cases over the weekend, and they expect that many or more for this week. So just be very careful out there, please. We want to make certain that even though we may have to do some things differently this Thanksgiving, that will assure us that next Thanksgiving we'll all be able to get together. And remember about that light at the end of the tunnel. We do indeed have a vaccination coming in the very near future. Just hang in there just a little bit longer, please. Okay. Moving on to any other old business that we might have. Does anyone have anything from the past? If not, Stacy, you're on with the new business.
I just want to make sure we're okay with you said the 7th, December 7th. So I can set up the Zoom meeting. Is that at 7 o'clock?
I've got it marked at 7, Tony's request.
I would like it to be 7. Yeah. Shane, I think we need to have an evening meeting, right? To
Yeah, that's great.
accommodate everybody. And yes.
All right, just wanted to be sure. I'll get that set up and have Nikki send it out. All right, let me get my screen here. Screen 1. Okay, so I have some supplemental appropriations for the Board of Elections. They have received additional grant monies to provide for the election. So they need an additional $5,862 in their equipment line. They're asking for an additional $24,000 into their supply line. And also an additional $5,708.53 into their salary line. Guessing they put in a little bit more overtime than expected, and the state was willing to give us some funds for that. Next, I have a request. Which one was this for? The 303 contract service. Oh, that's the coroners. Unfortunately, our contract service for autopsies has reached the max that we were at. I think it was 25,000. I actually might have been 50,000 this year. We were getting at the max of that. So Kylie said we needed probably an additional 15,000 just to be sure we're covered for the remainder of the year. I have a supplemental appropriation for our transfers outline. This is following up at your request from the previous board session. Transfer to EMS. So we need to put a 25,000 into our transfers outline. We have an additional $415,762.99. This is for the various subgrant agreements. We have to have all monies encumbered by no later than tomorrow to make sure it doesn't go back to the state. So this is what we have left sitting out there that need to be appropriated. And as soon as we're done approving these, Kylie will put the purchase order in for your approval as well. So all money is encumbered and it doesn't have to be sent back to the state. I have a request from Victims Assistance, finishing up some paperwork on their grant switchover. They need $93,119.23 into the transfers outline.
No, I just didn't have it the first time out.
We have all of her adjustments. It's like she's taken it from decreases to be able to transfer over. So she's doing a total decrease amount of $48,133.11. I have a supplemental appropriation for the engineer. Need additional $60,000 into their salary road line to complete the rest of the year. I have a request from the auditor's office, an additional $1,500 into their supplies. I have an additional $90,000 for contract services needed for payments, access, visitation. I guess I should read the fund numbers. The 2019 is her work child support enforcement fund. And then the children's services fund 230 is her public assistance fund. Need an additional $250,000. This is the CARES Act money that we are giving to Job and Family. They are already well into the process. We're just moving the cash over, and they're putting it in place. I have an additional $123,974.63 into their children's services shared for reimbursement. And their, I think that is their WIA account, Workforce Investment Act Fund, doing an additional $30,909.10. And I think that's all the supplemental appropriations. And I have a resolution authorizing fund transfer being made to the Public Assistance Fund from our transfers out, $60,939.50 to their transfers in line. This is the mandated share that we pay. We paid first half. This is the remainder. I have the transfer for the VOCA grant victims assistance, that $93,119.23 from her 2020 account to her 2021 account. Oops, I had to read the amount. Oh, I read the amount. I have a resolution authorizing the sewer district billing and administrative contract agreement between Regional Planning Commission, Seneca County Commissioners on behalf of the county sanitary engineer pending prosecutor's approval. I think the contract said 9%. I have a resolution authorizing the agreement for the Ohio Department of Justice for the FY20 Comprehensive Opioid Stimulus and Substance Abuse Site-Based Program on behalf of the Seneca County Sheriff's Office. The total amount for that is $598,608. The grant is for 3 years, and obviously it's for the substance abuse program. It pays for the original grant that he's had for the last 3 years is paid for 20 hours for a counselor. They have upped that. It will be 40 hours for a firelands counselor and also additional for the case manager. And again, this is for 3 years. I have a resolution placing King Roofman Ditch District, Seneca County number 11-363 on permanent maintenance. And they are on the line if you have any questions about that. Total project cost used to establish the base is $11,733. I have the official resolution authorizing the 2021 wellness incentive premium differentials for the 2022 discounts. This is what we discussed a couple weeks ago when Tasha and Ginger were in. I have a resolution authorizing contract service agreement with Huron County Board of Commissioners for the receipt, custody, and care of Huron County juveniles on behalf of the Seneca County Youth Center for 2021. I have a resolution selecting Stantec Consulting Services Incorporated as the Seneca County Airport architectural engineer and authorizing the Seneca County Board of Commissioners to enter into an agreement pending prosecutor's approval. And I think the rest are the proclamations from earlier today. I think that's all I have for today. That's all right. I think you're muted, Tony.
Wow.
That was a lot. Just wait till we do budgets, Tony.
Yeah.
I have a couple of more proclamations that we'll add at the end of this discussion before we get into public comment. But I would like to carve out the sewer district billing, just to have a conversation before we get an authorization for all these. It has been quite a while since we've done any type of analysis as to costs as it relates to the sewer district administration. We've been using a number of 9%, and I think that equates to someplace in the $50,000 to $55,000 cost range for the administration of the sewer billing. So I would ask that we take a look at that, have engineer Mark Zimmerman review the cost, because that's a direct expense imposed on those folks who are part of that sewer district. So we want to make certain that we're charging them a fair rate. And I don't know how long it's been since we've done that analysis, but it's been a bit. So I would like to defer that authorization until that analysis is done, and until we've got a full understanding of the budget for 2021. That's open for discussion. Anybody would like to add anything to that?
Did we not have a conversation about this recently?
I'm not aware of a conversation, Commissioner Thomas. I think it's been at least 5 years since there's been any analysis done as to what the direct costs are there.
I think it was 10 and then we lowered it to 8.
Yeah.
But there was no basis for that other than we wanted to cut some cost.
Okay.
And so
I'm fine talking about it. I was trying to remind myself what we had discussed here.
But it wasn't at 10. It used to be 10 and then it went to 8, and now it looks like the request is 9. So I would support a discussion with Mark on that so we can all be on the same page before we approve it.
Okay, so we'll carve that out and defer that until the next meeting. So I would accept then a motion to approve the supplemental appropriations, the fund transfers, and the authorizations.
I make a motion that we approve the schedule of new business with the exception of the sewer district billing.
Thank you.
I'll second.
Thank you. Any additional discussion?
I have a question on the ditch agreement, if I may. Beth, is Beth on the phone?
No,
Steve?
it's Ryan.
Okay, Ryan, you're on. Hi, Ryan.
Yes, Tony. How are you?
Doing well. So I'm learning about our ditch programs and so forth, and I have a greater appreciation for these kind of agreements because I've had several calls throughout the county where private drainage was not being taken care of, and then it backed up into the county's And it just causes multiple problems and frustration. So I like when everyone can get together out at Soil and Water, private sector, and work these agreements out. So how long has this been in discussion, this agreement?
Oh, I believe the first meeting started back in the spring of 18, if I remember right. They started this. And it was just installed this past summer.
Okay. Are there any other landowners involved other than the ones listed here?
No, the 4 that are listed are within the watershed, which all come to the agreement, correct?
Got it. Okay, and then it's your recommendation, obviously, right, Soil and Water, that we adopt a permanent maintenance agreement.
It is, that's what the property owners want, correct?
Yeah. Okay. I really have no other questions. Appreciate everyone's work on this. So that's all I have, Commissioner Kirschner.
Okay, Nicole, we need a roll call, please.
Commissioner Thomas,
Yes.
Commissioner Paradiso,
Yes.
Commissioner Kirschner.
Yes. So the other 2 proclamations that I have, which are, again, great things to be able to do, is that, first of all, the Board of Commissioners would like to recognize that November 2020 is National Adoption Month. Engage youth, listen and learn. Whereas there are 30 Seneca County children who live in foster homes in Seneca County and other out-of-home placement settings. 3 of the children in foster care are waiting to be adopted. 1 of those children waiting to be adopted are 13 years and older. And whereas none of those children will turn 18 in the next 18 months and is at risk of aging out of the child welfare system without a forever family. And whereas older youth need permanent, lifelong relationships, meaningful connections to supportive adults to reach full potential. And whereas youth are never too old to be adopted by forever families. And whereas adoption enriches the lives of both children and families who welcome them. And whereas the Seneca County Department of Job and Family Services, along with other public and private child caring agencies throughout the state of Ohio, work diligently in search of safe, stable, and permanent home for Ohio's most vulnerable children. Whereas it takes 100% heart to foster and adopt in Ohio. Now, therefore, be it resolved that we, the Board of Commissioners, Seneca County, Ohio, do hereby proclaim November 2020 as Adoption, Recognition, and Recruitment Month in this county and encourage all Seneca County to join in its observance and continue to open their hearts and their homes to our children and foster care who are willing to be adopted. In witness hereof, we, the Seneca County Board of Commissioners, have hereunto set our hand in this proclamation, November in the year of our Lord, 2020. That's the first one. The second one is, in this year of COVID, we have traditions. One of the traditions is all 3 of us have always shown up to the Veteran of the Year celebration. This year's obviously was a different type of Veteran of the Year celebration. It was not done in person. I always look forward to seeing that group of ladies and gentlemen. But this year there is indeed a Veteran of the Year, and his name is Charles Giles. And you happen to have been born on July 8th, 1933. July 8th, Tony, does that commit?
Good day.
Yeah, that's a Michigan.
2 years earlier.
He was born in Johnstown, Pennsylvania. Charles moved to Ohio and started school in Green Springs his 10th grade year. Mr. Giles just drafted into the Army after high school. In July of 1953, he began basic training in Fort Bliss, Texas, with 8 weeks of up-the-hill infantry training and another 8 weeks of down-the-hill infantry training. Another part of Mr. Giles' training included a march which starts at Fort Bliss, Texas, and ended approximately 71 miles away in White Sands, New Mexico. I will just recognize Mr. Giles as the Veteran of the Year. and talk about the fact that he was a member of the American Legion and held the office of second vice president. He is also a DAV life member and a member of the Dads VFW. Charles was also a member of the Moose and the Eagles. While in the Dads VFW, Charles and Dick DeWald were instrumental in getting $6,000 for the Tiffin World War II monument and $3,000 for the recent World War II monument. Tiffin County Honors Bus Tour, Mr. Giles joined the U.S. Veterans Council of Seneca County in 1996, and he and other member Harold Lehman created and started the current flag etiquette program. Charles is currently an active member in the Korean War Veterans of America, Findlay chapter, and is active in the UVC, which he participates in an average of 30 funerals a year. Whereas Charles was honored in 2013 by going to the honor flight in Washington, D.C., where he saw World War II, Korea, and War and Vietnam monuments. Mr. Giles' hobbies include coin collecting, model trains, train scenery, collecting model cars, and being a Richard Petty fan. Now, therefore, let it be resolved that we, the Board of Commissioners, Seneca County, Ohio, do hereby recognize and commend Charles Giles for his years of dedicated service to his country and to its citizens, and offer our sincere congratulations as him being named 2020 Veteran of the Year, signed by all three commissioners. So congratulations. I hope that the pronunciation is right. I think it's Giles and not Giles, but anyways, Charles, God bless, and thank you for your service.
Thank you.
So that concludes, I think, the business that we had for the commissioners meeting.
I got one more, Mike. Sorry, I
Yeah.
missed it. It was in
All
my Word document, not PDF. It's the actual transfer for the ambulance money out of our transfers outline to our transfers in line.
Okay. So we can modify our motion, Mr. Thomas, if you will include that in your motion.
So modified. Yes.
Okay. And your second is still holding up there, Mr. Paradiso?
Yes, it is.
All right, perfect. All
Thank
right.
you.
So now we can go on to public comment. Jimmy, you know the.
Yep, and I think Audrey Flood from Tiffin Seneca Economic Partnership has been patiently waiting, so go ahead, Audrey.
Do we need a vote here, Mike? Do we need a vote first?
I think we're okay because we modified it.
Okay.
And,
Got it.
okay,
Thank you.
Miss Audrey.
Good morning. Thanks
morning.
for having on. Okay, so first, Shane, I just wanted to say thank you for your support of the CEO program, speaking earlier. And, we really appreciate having you on the board and all that you've done for it so far as well. And I'm really happy to hear that you are planning to potentially support in other ways as well. We're definitely open to working with you to see how else you all can support the program, because it is definitely a big lift, but it will be huge for the community. So thank you so much on that. Okay, so the other thing I just wanted to update on was the CARES funds. So as Stacy said, we worked with several of the townships and villages, as you know, and then just on Monday, we did work with the city as well to make sure that the funds that they decided to, contribute to the program can cover the Tiffin businesses that have applied, as there is high demand. And then if there is any left, the other businesses as well. So we're grateful for the partnership between the city and the county to support all the businesses that have requested help. So just a little review on the timeline. Mike, I know you were encouraging people to apply. So just as a reminder, we did launch the information about the program on the 23rd, and then the application actually went live on October 28th, and it closed on November 9th. So it is closed now for the businesses and nonprofits to apply. That window is closed. We are now neck deep in the review process. We've been working very, very hard to process all of the applications. Our office has definitely taken a helping approach or supporting approach to the businesses, as opposed to just, declining an application if they had forgot to sign something or, uploaded something incorrectly, that type of thing. So we've definitely taken the extra time and built that time into the system so that we can help these businesses and give them every opportunity to apply again, instead of just declining an application if there was something, misfilled out. So that being said, we are, like I said, working very hard to get through all the review process. And so I'm going to give you some numbers today, but I wanted to let you know that our plan here at the office is to have the decisions made on which applications are awarded funds, which are declined, have those final decisions by the end of the week. So, end of tomorrow is the plan. So I'm just going to give you some general numbers, knowing that we will have more information soon. So there was a total of 130 applications submitted, and the way that breaks down is a little over 30 in the 6 townships and villages that specifically gave money toward the program, including Hopewell, Clinton, Bettsville, Eden, Bloom, and Green Springs. And then there's about 30 additional rural ones outside of the cities or municipalities in the county that also applied. There's around 60 that applied from the city of Tiffin, businesses from the city of Tiffin. And there's somewhere around 10 to 15 nonprofits that applied as well overall in the county. Again, those are rough numbers because these applications are, like I said, in various stages of review, and we're working to complete that. But those are just some rough numbers. Like I said, we plan to have the decisions by the end of this week, and then we will provide you with a full written report once all the decisions are made on what was awarded, and you will be able to see all the dollar amounts, the specific numbers of businesses, all that information will be provided to you in writing, probably next week. But like I said, once those decisions are made this week. And then also at your next meeting, I will provide a full detailed report on exactly where the dollar amounts fell and exactly what businesses were funded in which jurisdictions. And then just as a reminder, so once the decision is made at the end of this week, then we will begin distributing the grant agreements and the forms that they have to fill out if they were awarded funds. So then we have to work through that process, and then we begin making the disbursements. And then later on, to close that out, there is the closeout process where they have to submit their documentation on what they spent funds on. So that's just a little overview of kind of where we're at. I am happy to take any questions on that, but again, reminding you, we will have much more complete and detailed information, by the end of this week. So at your next meeting and in writing, we will have detailed numbers, but I'm happy to answer any questions on the process or anything like that if you have them.
Well, it looks like you have 130 applications in total. Do you have a number as far as what that total request is, and approximately?
You mean how much the total that the businesses are asking for is?
Right. Of those 130, how much money has been requested?
We will not have a final answer on that number until probably the end of the day tomorrow, as we continue through this review process, determining which ones are eligible, which ones are not, and which businesses lie in which jurisdiction, as there are, different funds that were given in specific jurisdictions and that kind of thing. But again, we are working through the review process to, again, make sure we know which ones are eligible and which ones are not. So we will not have a final number on what the request dollar amount is total, but we will have that soon for you. Any other questions?
It's a good report, Audrey. Do you need anything from us?
If you could find some extra time laying around in your back pocket, that would be great for our office.
Wow. It seems like you're doing a great job, so keep it up.
All right, thanks. I don't think we have any other updates from TSEP at this time. I know there was mention of the tree lighting ceremony on the 4th. Our downtown manager, Amy Reinhart, would be remiss if I didn't clarify that it has been moved to virtual. So that tree lighting ceremony will be online, not in person, per the current COVID situation. So she would want me to remind you to join that online and on Facebook. So everyone can that's accessible to everyone.
Okay.
Is that a TSEP event or a chamber event?
Nope, that's a chamber event. Amy from the downtown just kind of supports, but that is a chamber event.
Okay, just wanted to clarify. Thank you.
I designate Mike to go down and plug in the tree.
Yep.
Somebody will have to do it somewhere, yeah. I think we probably just say, Alexa, turn the light on.
Right.
Okay, Jimmy, who else is out there?
It's a good one.
I don't see anything in the chat, but just to remind everybody, you'll be able to unmute yourself if you click the unmute button. If you're joining us via the phone line, you can hit *6 to unmute. And this is your chance. This is your time. Come forward if you have any public comments.
Well, on behalf of my fellow commissioners, I do want to wish everyone out there a happy Thanksgiving. Family filled, however that form takes this year. But we are now officially into the holiday season, and I wish everyone a pleasant and happy time. Stay
It's going to
safe.
be Zoom's giving for us.
Yeah. Yeah. I used to think it was odd when people were talking about, going with a tofu turkey or something. Now this really is way out of range, right?
Yeah, it's a lot of bird to eat for a small family.
Yeah, that's for sure. I got all 20 pounds in the freezer right now. Okay. Anything else for the good of the order?
No, thank you.
Hearing none, I will call this meeting adjourned at 11:04 on the 19th. Stay safe, everyone. God bless.
Thanks.